Hello everyone, this is Sasha Tsao of My Own Interest, and today's episode of Platues of Strength is episode number 3, Stability. If you can read it or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, it does. So, stability is very, very often a bottleneck in increasing weight over time. Reason being, let's say your muscles can produce enough force that your brain perceives that the move is not stable. It's going to inhibit you from producing that much force. For example, you're less stable when you're standing on a pillow, right? Especially if you haven't stood on a stack of pillows before and your stabilizer muscles are not used to it. Are you going to be able to back squat the same amount of weight as if you're standing on a hard surface? Freaking no. It's because your brain has already perceived that the move is unstable. That was an extreme example, but very, very often, even in the hardcore of a gym, we have other things that cause instability. One of them is loose grip. You see, especially in pulling exercises, could be a deadlift, could be an upright row, could even be a bicep curl, right? Brain here wants to see that your grip is tight enough that the barbell, dumbbell, or whatever, is not going to possibly fall out of your hands. If you're holding it loosely, you're not going to be able to pull as much or as fast as you could have otherwise. Tighter grip is equal to bigger weight. If you're not gripping as tight as possible in pulling exercises, especially in the last few reps, if it's many reps, you are unknowingly or knowingly creating a bottleneck in your performance. The other cause of instability is the core. You see, any weight-bearing exercise that requires you to lift weights without being braced up against some kind of machine or something requires your core muscles. Pretend that these here are abs, which you can barely see, and this is a big-ass barbell. The core has to be braced, and not just braced, but the entire front and back for the overhead press, both dumbbell and barbell, has to be braced up and contracted. Not just breathe in like a balloon, but contracted, mostly contracted. That's how I got these super solid abs, as you can see, which I'm going to demonstrate in a later video. Now, I don't have any weights, but we all know that one arm is less stable than two arms. That could create a stability bottleneck, but what instead that does is it strengthens up the obliques on one side, so more stable. Other arms separately strengthened up obliques on the other side. When you do two arms at the same time, the one arm at a time overhead press with one dumbbell in each hand can actually break through plateaus in a two-arm barbell press. I've experienced it myself. So we got past the two initial causes of instability in your lifts that bottlenecks your performance. Weak grip strength, weak core strength. Core includes back and chest and traps and upper back and lower back and glutes as well, for me, in my way. So now that forearms and core have been considered, fix those. The next of them is feet and calves and shins. Your feet are what is connecting you to the ground. I already told you that if you're standing on a pillow, you're not going to be able to lift a lot of weight. Are you? No. Stand on a hard surface or hard shoes, or your feet themselves are pretty hard. You can bear deadlift with bare feet like I do. I just wear hard shoes. What do you think? Right? When your feet are unstable, right? So ideally you want a tripod foot stand. Here's your big toe, small toe, and heel. What you often do is you're only standing on your big toe and heel, or you're only standing on your small toe and heel. You have to stand on all three of them as a tripod foot. That's going to cause stability to your foot, and you better wear hard shoes that do not compress or bounce. It's also very important for foot stability. Foot stability is important in any lift where you're standing up or on your feet on the ground during the lift, or even when you're sitting down, you have to plant your feet on the ground to channelize energy through your entire body. Because if you're up like this, try it yourself. You're not going to be able to press or even pull as much weight as if your feet are flat on the ground. In fact, you won't even be able to think as hard. LOL. So, that's cause number 3. Forearms, abs and core, and feet. This is cause number 3 for instability in the lift. For some reason I can't see it on the camera. Now, there's other reasons for instability, and that is imbalance. How do you know if you're imbalanced if the only thing you're doing is pressing on machines? This is why, for example, leg A might be stronger than leg B, or vice versa, or the same for the arms, or even on either side of the core. As you can see, you don't see a lot of asymmetry in any lifter that you consider good. If one arm's going up more than the other, they cannot lift more, and they're probably going to fail that lift as well. So there is also asymmetry between the two sides, and that can be any darn muscle. So when one side is bigger than the other part of side, or stronger, and you don't know how to compensate, it's going to be unstable. And even though you can theoretically push more because it's a stronger arm, not going to happen. This thing here ain't going to allow it. Try it yourself. Actually don't. So, how do you increase stability? Very simple. 1,